I quit my job to freelance. Talking about things before I do them is fruitless. I didn't have any strategy. I didn't bother my head with that. It felt like social media management was chasing me around.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
Then I said, no, it's God testing me. Until my body caught up with me and I felt sick. Guess what? I ran back to Upwork when the month was ending and I didn't have any money. I said, please, 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 let me find my way back there.
Am I really that much? And breaking these niggas down like a camera. You don't really know you.
A year ago, I quit my job to freelance, a decision that could have gone completely wrong. I had no elaborate plan, no stable income, just a strong conviction and self-belief, and so I took the leap of faith. Here's a quick rundown of what this year has looked like. Quick backstory, I graduated from university in 2020 with a first-class degree without having a clear roadmap of what it is I wanted to do in the world. For a long time, I had only hyper-focused on one thing that I wanted to be, but towards my final year, I decided that no, this thing is not going to be for me. It's not going to work and I'm not going to use this certificate. So I needed to find a new path. And so I went on a journey of acquiring skills and then trying to sell those skills. So amongst the things I've done since I graduated are social media management on and off. I've been a video editor. I've tried affiliate marketing. I've tried UI UX. I even one time tried graphics design. I was trying to teach myself, but it just wasn't working and I was so frustrated with it. This is literally my third time trying freelancing, and this is the first time that I'm lasting a year at anything, at any job, at anything I've tried at all. So it is definitely a big deal to me and what's celebrated. I tendered my resignation in February 2025 to leave my job in March, like at the end of March, so that I could give my boss some time to find my replacement. I had been battling with the idea for months. I truly wanted to stay 1 year as a social media manager, but I just couldn't continue and I already got direction of what to do next, so I just went ahead and did that. And so when I left, I was tired, burnt out from work. I knew already that I was going to venture into a new thing, but I made sure not to tell anyone because I have failed many times enough for me to know my patterns in life and for me to know that talking about things before I do them is fruitless. I'm already very sure of myself that this is what I should do next, and so I just took the leap. April 2025. So this was the month where I moved into my brother's home because I really needed a new space and a new environment. It's in a different building in my dad's compound, so I just did that. I started documenting my journey as a freelance presentation designer on social media. I didn't have any strategy. I didn't bother my head with that. And I just joined a first 30 days challenge because I needed to have some sort of direction. So I did that to help me along the way. And then after the 20-something, I just let it be because I realized I can trust myself and the things I want to post about, I could just post my own content. And in April, I got my first viral video, which is crazy because I had been creating content even whilst I worked as a social media manager, but nothing was clicking. I just have a few views here and there. JP 2025 was viral and I decided to create a wedding style book just to, document the looks, the beautiful looks of the bride and groom. And I posted it on Instagram, and what happened? Nothing. So a few hours later, I remembered, I haven't posted it on TikTok yet. I had just 20 followers. I posted it and boom, a few hours later, 50,000 views. With a lot of comments, commenting my design skill and just all of that. It brought me my first 200 followers. Like, that was crazy, but that was such an exciting moment because the people that were coming in to see what I do were people that were coming in from a video that is aligned with my niche. So I already did my research prior to quitting my job, so I knew I was going to be a presentation designer. However, I didn't know what my niche was going to be because even though it's a sub niche of design, there are niches within it. There are areas of specialization within it. I didn't know, so I was just designing anything. I'll design reports, I'll design mood boards, wedding style books, So those are the things that I crafted my offer around because that's what I know and that's what I can do. And so I got my first client inquiries from those videos. I got emails asking me to be on their team. It was a wild time. But those emails were for me to be a social media manager. It felt crazy. It felt like social media management was chasing me around. And I said no. Even though I got about 3 social media management opportunities right as I was quitting that job, I said, no, I'm like, is God testing me? I already have direction for a new path. I'm not doing that. I'm not going back. I'm going to trust in the unknown, and I'm just going to continue in this leap of faith I've taken. And it has paid off. That was April. A viral video started my journey, and I re-optimized my Upwork profile because I had been on Upwork before. I tried actually as a video editor and I had failed. So I just switched my niche from video editing to design, and there was presentation design on Upwork. I do my research. I know that there's a lot of demand for presentation designers on Upwork. And so I did that and I started, applying for gigs. May 2025, I got my first gig. It was so exciting. It was a fast-paced, turnaround kind of thing. I delivered on that. And then Upwork asked me to verify my account. This was quite stressful. I figured it out and I got verified. And you know what happened that month? I got my next 4 gigs. It was an amazing month. Maybe you could call it beginner's luck. I don't know. But it felt so rewarding for me. Like I was being encouraged that, yes, I am on the right path. You get it? So in May, I also made from those gigs my first $100 ever. Like this is the first time I'm making money in dollars, and it's also the first time that I made 100. Like crazy. Of course, I didn't get $100 in my payout because Upwork is going to take their commission and all of that. But it was such a rewarding moment, and of course, I kept documenting this on social media. June 2025. So June was a quiet month. I was coming from the high of May, I was like, June is for momentum. I just want to keep getting gigs. But guess what? I did not. Like, June was so slow. I started to doubt that what is going on. But you know what? God came through for me. I got a returning client from May. That's tell you I do good work. And I got a new client as well. And that was last minute. And even from those 2 gigs, I made more than I made in May. Crazy stuff. And that month taught me not to worry about money. See, this is my journey. There's going to be up and down, but I must learn to trust in the process and trust in God. You see, June, July, August, they taught me to detach. They taught me the importance of self-belief, the importance of saying yes and then figuring it out later. There were some gigs that I didn't think I'll be able to deliver on. I just said yes by applying, wrote a strong proposal, got it, and then figured it out. And I had amazing client reviews. It was such an interesting time for me. I was like, oh, wow, I can do anything. I can do hard things. I mean, I already had proof I could do hard things, but this was more niche. Like, yeah, as a designer, definitely I can do hard things and I can meet clients' demands. And then I began to notice a pattern as the months went by with gigs that were showing up on my Upwork feed. I was looking at the budgets the clients had because they'll put the money that they are offering there. And I was saying that they want to pay $100 to $500 for people to do presentation design, but with PowerPoint. And so I would look at the gig and I'll feel so much self-doubt around applying for those gigs. But you know what? I asked myself why, and I thought, because I don't know how to use PowerPoint, I don't think I would be able to figure it out by just getting a gig the way I've been able to figure certain aspects of the work out with some of the gigs I've done. And so you know what I did? I decided I'm going to upskill. I was using Canva. I was comfortable in that, but I chose to learn PowerPoint. That was stressful. Okay, before I could even learn PowerPoint, I fell sick. Yeah, because my body caught up with me. I was so tired and burnt out from being a social media manager. I hadn't rested because I know myself. There's a thing about life is that you must achieve self-mastery. And just sit down, journal, notice your patterns, know yourself, know your strengths and your weaknesses. I knew that if I rested, I would not easily get up. Like, it would take me months to recruit, to get up. I'll just be lazy. So I decided to do it tired, do it stressed, do it burnt out, do it sad. I just was going until my body caught up with me. And I felt sick. Like 3 months consecutively, back to back to back, I was sick. And in between, I was doing client work. And that moment really taught me that I am the engine of my work as a freelancer. I don't have a team. At the time, I didn't even network. I didn't have any designer friends. There was no way I was going to outsource gigs. That wasn't even top of mind. Okay, so I knew in that moment, there's something I need to do better. I need to take care of myself, but also I need to start thinking of how to solidify my freelance business. Even though I'm a beginner, it needs to be on my mind so that I can work towards it at some point. July 2025, I had gotten my first payout from Upwork. I believe so. I didn't withdraw this entire time. So it was quite, some significant amount of money when converted to Naira. And so what I did was, allocate some for savings, allocate some for the next month, and for that actual month, because I don't know what's coming in next month. I need to find a way to balance my finances. Yeah. And so I had an extra set of money left. My birthday is actually in July, and I wanted a birthday photo shoot. Unfortunately, I decided, let me invest this in my knowledge. Let me pay for a cold emailing execution kind of course. Since it's just not a course, we're going to get tasks to do every day for 30 days. And I was hopeful that at the end of 30 days, either I will have a client from cold emailing people, or I would have the confidence to just continue to do it until I get a new client. Guess what? That was a terrible investment. It did not go well. The course did not deliver on its promise. Every time I look back at that moment, I just wish I'd done my photo shoot, because truly, I just wanted to do a photo shoot because I was turning a big age. But anyways, that's past. It's one of those things that happens. And then, you know what? I picked myself back up and I continued learning PowerPoint. At first, I started with learning on YouTube, just practicing different things. But then I eventually realized I was struggling so bad because I didn't know the basics. I don't even know where things are around the software. So I took a step back to learn that. And in the process of doing that, I just bought courses, and then other courses and more courses that have truly helped me not just learn how to use PowerPoint, but also how to think about presentation design, because it's not just decoration. You're not just creating slides. There's a lot of strategy and thought that must go into the content of those slides, and understanding the audience that is going to be presented to, because that will also impact the type of design you're doing. Fast forward to October 2025. This was when I decided, you know what, I no longer want to rely on Upwork. I was already experiencing some anxiety around not having consistent gigs, not knowing what gig is going to click for me, getting gigs on days where I was packed already with personal commitments or other things I was doing, because I was also getting some clients from social media, even though it was just here and there. And also I couldn't predict that because I didn't have a system. I'm still building a system even now. And so, you know what I just did? I decided, you know what, I'm just going to cut Upwork up. Like, if I cut it off, then I would be forced to do this cold emailing thing. Guess what? I ran back to Upwork when the month was ending and I didn't have any money. I said, please, 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 let me find my way back there. So that was that. But then November and December, I actually did not apply for any gigs on Upwork. I just left it and I actually just relaxed. I wasn't doing anything extra. And guess what? Those were the months I made the most combined. By December 2025, all the work I had put into learning PowerPoint truly paid off for me, because I got like my biggest gig and it was to use PowerPoint. And even though I didn't know everything about how to deliver that, since I already had the basics and I was grounded in it, the rest was easy peasy. I was able to figure it out eventually. January, February, March, I decided, you know what, I'm going to learn a new niche in presentation design. From the work I've done with clients, I have gotten amazing testimonials that have actually boosted my confidence. Like, clients call me a genius, I'm telling you, because I do good work. And so it made me start thinking, I do amazing work, yes, but it's not comparing to the paycheck. I'm so sorry, but absolutely it's not comparing. When I convert the money to Naira, even though it's something, I know I can do more and I can earn more. And I definitely also need a system that gives me consistent clients, so a consistent lead generation system. So you know what I just did for myself? I decided, how can I get close to the ROI? As I concluded December 2025, I decided, you know what, I'm going to learn a new niche, a new area of presentation design, and that was pitch deck designs, sponsorship decks, all of those, anything that will help a company to raise income, raise capital, to get sponsorship for their events. I'm going to be the go-to person for that, because then I can charge more since I am adding to your return of investment. Yeah, that's the logic. Yeah. So I started to learn pitch deck designs and started documenting that journey on LinkedIn. It's been tough, honestly. But you know the amazing thing about life, when you prepare yourself for certain opportunities even before they come. Those opportunities eventually get presented to you. Got the opportunity to work on 2 sponsorship decks. That was amazing. I've gotten inquiries for pitch deck designs. I've gotten to find other people that do the same thing and just network with them. But it's not been an easy learning journey. However, it's been great so far. I think I've done some good foundational work because I just picked a niche and I decided, you know what, I'm going to learn what the industry needs, what the audience, that the investors are looking for, what matters to them, and just go ahead and execute that. Yeah, that is what my 1 year in freelancing has looked at. It has taught me how to ask for what I deserve in terms of charging, pricing. That was one of the things that really gave me a headache. I'm going into year 2 much better with that because I bought a course. Like, I literally did more research this time. I got a course with a fantastic coach, someone who is in the design niche, who has made times 4 times 5 of the money that I'm looking to make, someone who has students and a fantastic track record, etc. So I can anticipate for year 2 to be fantastic. I have no idea if I'm even going to make it to year 2, but I am very hopeful, and I hope that this video encourages someone out there. If you are a new graduate, you recently graduated, things are not going well, or you graduated with a first class degree like me, it was quite tough failing at life, because that's how I felt. I never really failed through school. Even if I wasn't top 5 student, I'll be top 10. So coming into the real world and failing at getting a job, just struggling, sending applications, no one even getting back to me, attending a few interviews and not even getting, the job. And then eventually getting a few jobs and then struggling at them and trying to understand why I am failing so much. I am so glad that at least there has been some light in this tunnel, because I don't even know if I'm at the end of the tunnel already. I just have hope that life will just continue to get better from here, and I hope that you continue to have hope and choose not to give up on yourself. You can rest, you can be tired, you are allowed to feel down, but please don't stay down. Pick yourself back up and encourage yourself. You are not a failure. It's just that you are just learning how to cope with failing at something, especially if you've won all your life or you've been able to scale through failing. At some point in life, you have to just learn how to fail, how to let go, and how to move on quickly from the things that you are not happy about and all of that stuff. So thank you for sticking with me. I know that I put out a video for 7 days after quitting my job to give you guys an update, 6 months after quitting my job, and now I made it to 1 year. You have no idea. This is just so amazing for me. Of course, I'm so happy, and I just give all the glory to God. Please don't give up on yourself. And yeah, that's it from this video.